This is Ramblin' Man Moto and Drone. As always, I hope this GoPro is working. As I'm often doing lately, it seems, going to the UPS store in Staples to do an Amazon return and using that as an excuse to ride. Just some updates. I ended up returning those progressive lenses that were installed in some safety glasses. The progressive lenses have been fine for me for normal day-to-day wear, but I did not like it for the motorcycle. So I returned them, and I've placed an order. I tried on some different pairs there and found a pair I like, kind of a rubberish material, so it felt good inside the helmet. And I did bifocals with a small reading section at the bottom, and we'll see how those get on. Again, I really don't need them for riding during the day. It was more at night, and it's a nice to have for reading when I get off the motorcycle. And you know, it does help at night, particularly with these gauges, but also just some night vision in general. My prescription's pretty low on the distance. It's more needed for reading. And the peripheral should be better. Those safety glasses were interesting because they have what's called a wrap lens, meaning they go around just slightly more than a normal pair of glasses because they're meant for safety. They didn't completely close the eye, but they did wrap around a little bit more than normal, which if you got in a single lens would be fine probably for riding a motorcycle. I pulled out my old GoPro. It turns out the first GoPro I ever bought was a GoPro Hero 4, and I got that when the kids were doing a lot of swim meets and activities in the woods, like as kids would do, and we were just using it to capture some of those memories. And part of it was me just being a gadget junkie, was learning how to just play around with the GoPro. I didn't do motorcycles back then. And I'm filming this on a GoPro Hero 10, and I went to play around with putting the Hero 4 on these handlebars. Now I could have done a mount, but then I would have been right back to the same position I was in when I had this navigation up here, taking right up on the center spot. So I didn't like that idea. And the handlebar mount I had works great on my mountain bike, but it did not work so great on this bar because it was thicker. I could have made it work, but the thing that I was not getting a good fit on was getting it pointed at me. Honestly, I couldn't even remember how I had it mounted on my mountain bike, but I think the way I had it mounted, I mean, it clearly worked because we had footage back then off the mountain bikes, and I don't remember an issue. But I didn't even go riding with it, so I've ordered, GoPro has come out with a new, well, it's not new anymore. It came out right after probably I bought the one I bought, which was 7 years, 8 years old or something. And the new and improved one has only a single bolt that has to be installed. Mine has two, and it has a swivel head on it that I think lets you get it mounted the way you want. That's arriving tomorrow. But I saw on GoPro's site, they said it's compatible only with the Hero 5 and up. I'm going to give it a shot with my Hero 4 using a case. And if that doesn't work, I'm probably going to buy a used camera. I usually buy new equipment, but I think on that I'm going to buy used and see if I can mount something pointed at me. I do have the Insta360, but I think the GoPro would make more sense and be easier to edit. So we'll see how that goes. I did get a nice email from the one of the guys from Lake Parks Design who made these gloves. Responded to that video I posted about my questions. I'm going to do a separate video about that, but I'll just say it was a good email exchange, and I'm actually planning on ordering their shorter pair of gloves as well. But I'm going to post a separate video about that. I placed an order today for a new windshield from Freedom Shields. I have one of their windshields already on my Super Chief. I took a measurement. I made a video with the windshield that came with this bike and measuring them the way you normally measure those windshields. It's the Indian 14-inch windshield. Now I see people online complaining on the Indian review site that it's really a 13-inch shield, and it's not 14. One guy said 13 and a half. Mine seemed to measure exactly 14. The one I ordered from Freedom Shields, I ordered the 12-inch with a light gray tint, and they're running about a 2-week backlog. So we'll see. We'll see what they come back with. Do you guys use trail braking when you're making turns at like a road, a side road? I know this is a topic I keep bringing up. I'm trying to work on my trail braking for curves, and I don't have a ton of opportunities out here because I was using my rear brake going into these curves, and I think it should be front brake. But in Motorman's slow moves course, he talks a lot about the rear brake. Now the Moto Jiu-Jitsu dude says that you should be able to do those slow maneuvers with just your clutch and throttle, and that the brake should just be after you get that down. He used rear brake as well. I've been trying to get in the habit of using front and rear when I just do normal stops, because in emergency braking, you're going to go to what your muscle memory is. And when I was doing some reading on that and watching videos, I think a lot of people use their rear brake only. And I was, for the most part. And from what I've read, you know, the most stopping power is hitting that brake. Now the other thing that a lot of people do, myself included, which I don't think is a good thing to do, is when you hit the brake, you also grab the clutch. And that actually frees the tire to roll more. And from what I understand, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, people are going to correct me in the comments, which please do. I'm still soaking up knowledge. But from watching other videos and reading, you know, with emergency braking, you want to leave that engaged and just focus on the brake. That is harder for me to get out of the habit of. It's like when I go to a stoplight, I use engine braking, and you know, I try to downshift to be in gear by the time I'm stopping, which involves pulling in the clutch. Like this turn coming up here on the right, I usually don't have a problem with this turn. But like, I'm curious if you guys use trail braking. So I'm in second gear, clutch out, hand off the clutch, and I turn in on that one. Like I don't usually have a problem with that one. I have a problem making the turn from the other way, turning left here, especially if there's a car poking out. I just don't feel sharp making those slow turns. And I think it's because I haven't really learned what exactly I'm supposed to do. Like, I took the local motorman course, and man, that didn't do it for me. You know, I try to get the head around, no problem there. It's the throttle, brake, and clutch where I'm still trying to understand what to use.